So again, thank you for coming. The Webforms Teamshare is today's topic. You currently are using Webforms as the method of putting together offers on properties. We upload all our listing documents in there, all our deal documents. It's a cloud essentially for all of your business that you can share and host all of your paperwork on. So it's a great platform. Currently, it interacts with all the boards across Canada, which makes it easier to use when doing offers, even outside your own board. Today, what I want to go over is the Teamshare feature. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a team. It could be an individual that you're assigning to look after your business while you're away on vacation. So you could call it Webforms Vacation Share or Admin Share if you had an administrator working for you that you wanted to share the information. Now, if you do have an administrator, the right thing to do would be to have that administrator signed as an administrator with your board and whatever board you're part of. So Treb, you would have an administrator fee and then get them their own passcode to log in. And then they would actually be in your account rather than just sharing. So really that's what you should do for admin. But if you're part of a team or you're going away on vacation, you want to be able to easily share the information with regards to a transaction. It could be a listing. And be able to put the documents into the right place. So I'm going to jump over straight into Webforms just to show you how this works. So let's go over here. And I am currently, let's just go right into the dashboard. Here we go. Currently in the dashboard, my dashboard. And as you can see, I have some different test transactions I have and whatnot in my member dashboard. I'm going to utilize those and show you how to set up, first of all, your team. We'll call it team. And as well, how to assign that team member to certain transactions. First of all, over on the left-hand side of your dashboard, you can bring down your full list of Webforms tasks. And one of them is going to be the setup. And so you're going to click on setup there. And you're going to look for the team sharing option. And this will set up your team sharing. Okay, you can see here I've done a bunch of different videos and stuff and showing over the time that I've been training. So we're going to set up a new one. These are all ones that I have created in the past, and you can create as many as you want, which is nice. If you're currently part of a team that has 5 members, you may have a team set up for each of the 5 members so that you can individually share with people rather than the whole team all at once. So you hit add in the top right-hand side, and you're going to call that team something. I like using the vacation as an example. So, or I'll call this one when I am away. Okay. So when I'm away, I get to set up who is going to look after my transaction. Your available team members are going to be listed here, and these are going to be people in your office. Okay, so whatever office you're in, these are the people that are going to be there. Unfortunately, it's just the people in your individual office that will come up here. Okay, which means if it's somebody else in the company that's not in your office, they may not be on that list. Okay, the first little check mark here says to automatically share transactions. You'll use that if that person's always looking after your stuff and you just want them to see everything that you see. Okay, so you will check mark that if that's the case. In this case, I don't want that. I want them that when I'm away, I have the ability to share certain transactions with the individual I select. So let's go down my list and I will choose, let's say I'll use Sabrina as an example. So I'll use Sabrina. There's a bunch of Sabrinas here because she is actually in each office and I have access to all the offices. So that's why you see so many different Sabrinas. So I'm going to put Sabrina in there and check mark. Then I'm going to hit add. So what that will do is bring Sabrina over to this section and it'll ask me some more questions about the transaction permissions. whether or not we want to give Sabrina, if I want to give full access to read and write, or do I just want her to have read privileges only? I don't know why it says write. I do know why, probably. It'll give her the opportunity to put stuff into the transaction, but not actually see anything that's already in there, which is interesting. But I don't know necessarily if that would be in any specific case that I can think of, but I will put full. I think that's good permission. Allow impersonation. This will allow also Sabrina to impersonate you and go in and work on your behalf. I'm going to leave that off. Okay. You can also remove the member. So I'm just going to give her full access to the transaction I give her the ability to do. Okay. And that should be all. It should just be able to hit save settings at the top. Okay. Now this group will be updated and add to my groups. And you have that ability to create those groups. Now, when I'm over in my member dashboard, this will relate to transactions. Just an overview on transactions. Think of transactions as a folder. I always bring over a manila folder, but to show you, I think we've all worked in the past out of manila folders, and you put all your paperwork, all your forms in these folders, and it just holds all the information but that one transaction. Think of transactions at this section here, all this transaction section, as that folder. And when you name a folder, you're going to name it what you would do at the top of that manila folder. So if I'm creating a transaction and I know it's for a listing I'm doing, let's say, I would put listing first. I'm listing 12 Times Square. Okay, so I'm listing 12 Times Square. And that makes a lot of sense. If I was purchasing something, I would put purchasing. That helps organize my transactions. The template I would use is dependent on what type of listing it is. So I look at the listing section. If it's a residential freehold sale, I would choose the right one there. As you know, you can import the data from any board across Canada. So in this case, I'm not going to do that. Add me as the listing salesperson. Sure, that sounds good. And I like using the wizard. So I hit create. And what that's doing, it's creating that folder and putting all the forms into it. In fact, we even have the ability to create information on those forms for you. So it's also populating some of the information already in there for you as well. If you put the MLS number in, it's also populating that with some information to make filling out forms a lot easier. Okay, but now that it's created, okay, I'm in the wizard, and I don't need to be in the wizard right now. What I'm going to do is just go to the dashboard, okay, because I'm not going to fill in all the information, because just for the purpose of this, I'm going to show you. So now I'm opening up that folder, and I'm looking in that folder with all the forms that have already been put in there for me, as well as some of the stuff for listings that have already been put into the document section. So there's some waivers and Schedule B and stuff like that we put in there as well. So we've created this folder for you. The top right hand, right up here where it says menu, okay, this is where I'm able to go back into the Teamshare option and put Sabrina. Now, keep in mind, you can put people's names as the name, right? I put when I'm away. I just happen to know that Sabrina looks after my stuff, but I could have called this Sabrina, right? And then bring this over here. So when I'm away, I'm going to notify Sabrina that she's going to be looking after this. And I'm going to put a message in here just saying, this is just a test. You might obviously put a different message in there, but I want her to know that I'm just putting her in as a test. Hit save. Now she gets notified that that's shared with her, and she'll have access to this whole transaction. It'll show up just like a normal transaction. It'll have my name as the agent, but it'll be her that is able to go in and pull off a form, do a document and whatnot. okay? If she was to send something off for Authentisign, it is going to be her sending it to Authentisign, and it will save within this transaction dashboard. So obviously it's not going to be Aaron Richardson sending it off. It'll be Sabrina Camera, but she will have access to be able to share and send in here. All right. That is a great overview of just how it works. You can obviously see the functionality of being able to give that access, and that will probably be most. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I got to show you on that, but I don't believe there's much more to it. So it's pretty straightforward. Thank you so much for watching. If you like our video, please hit the like button, the subscribe, and even the little bell to get notifications, just so you can stay in touch and watch more of these great videos.